हा
घरडे पोरी आहेत का
घरडे हा हा ते लहान हो हो
गेलो त्या दिवशी लग्न जुळले म्हणजे
दोघांची जुळले म्हणजे
चांगला झाला जुळले
बरं झालं म्हणा बढिया आहे ना
चांगलं आपल्याला चांगला आहे का
मॅडम प्लीज म्यूट करा सगळ्यांना.
नाही होत नाहीये माझ्याकडून तर
नाईकवाडे सरांना को होस्ट बनवा मॅडम. We are already live. We can start.
मॅडम मी तुम्हाला को होस्ट करते.
नाईकवाडे सरांना करा को होस्ट. And please start the program. We are already live.
Yes.
Start the recording also. Thank you, ma'am.
Yes. I am extremely happy to get this opportunity to address you on this great occasion of our elite workshop on research methodology on behalf of English Department of SBCT College, Nagpur. I, Dr. Rupali Bhave, welcome to all participants in this workshop. I also welcome to Dr. Anil Shende, sir, who is a resource person of today's session. He is a head of English department in SBCT College, Nagpur. He has a 27 years teaching experience for UG classes and 7 years for PG classes. He is a research supervisor and NCC officer, presently holding the rank of captain. He is a former head of remedial coaching. He attended many national and international conferences and seminars. He is ex-officiating principal of SBCT College. His many research papers are published in reputed journals. He is a former IPSC coordinator. He is in charge of competitive examinations. Apart from this, he is a very helpful and renders selfless service to students. He has molded the life of students and served us with his kindness. So, without wasting time, I would like to invite Dr. Anil Shende sir to deliver his precious thoughts on the topic review of literature. Over to you, sir, Dr. Anil Shende sir.
Okay, thank you, madam. Hope I am audible to you. Respected principal of the college, Dr. Maitre sir, faculties of the Department of English, Madam Dr. Kane, Dr. Madam Bhave, Miss Amrapali Modak, Miss Harsha Shende, Mr. Manish Kumar Chauhan, co-coordinator of this research methodology workshop, Professor Dr. Nayakwade sir, and dear participants. So I am going to talk to you on review of literature. What is review of literature? Why it is necessary? And what are the uses, particularly in our research work? What are the sources? So I will talk all those things before you. The first and foremost, we should try to understand that there is a difference between literature review and review of literature. They are not same. Though while speaking, we say that review of literature and literature review are same, but they are not same. Literature review is talking about all kinds of literature. Means it has infinite possibilities. Okay, so it is not limited to its characters. So when we say review of literature, we are particular. Okay, and it is a systematic review of literature of any research project. So it is very specific in nature. Review of literature is very specific in nature. So what we see in it, it is not a list of books with shortcomings. It is not a description of work in subject area. And review of literature is not a place for your opinion. You cannot express your opinions in the review of literature. Just say, suppose I think, I believe. It is not a place for your personal opinion. Then what is it? It is a review of current state of knowledge in the specific subject area. Now I am emphasizing it. What I am emphasizing, it is a review of current state of knowledge. It is a review of current state of knowledge in the specific subject area. It is comprehensive. It is understandable with in-depth writing about key ideas and theories. It is clearly structured. Review of literature is clearly structured into thematic paragraphs in a systematic manner. It should be categorized, evaluate, and critically analyzed. So these 3-4 points are necessary for a particular topic to be reviewed. Review of current state of knowledge is comprehensive. Writing about the key ideas, it is clearly structured, categorized, evaluate, and critically analyzed. So what we can say, the purpose or the need, why we need review of literature? Because it provides background information to us. It also provides contents. It identifies the focus of research. It also introduces the topic to the readers. It addresses the trends, the current trends. What are the current trends are going into the literature and the reviews, everything. And it analyzed the published articles or whatever it is. So we can understand what is the purpose for that one. Now, so go in some detail. What is a literature review or what is a review of literature? We can say that it is a survey of scholarly articles. Survey of scholarly articles means, review means a survey, no doubt. But survey of what? Survey of what? The survey of primary sources, survey of secondary sources. So in the primary sources, what we see, original documents, जिसको कहते हैं, they are diaries, original documents written by the person or the researchers, speeches, manuscripts, letters, interviews, records. Eyewitness accounts are also come under the category of the primary sources. Autobiographies. Then empirical primary sources are also there. Research articles, clinical reports, case studies, dissertations. Then creative work comes under the category of poetry, music, videos, photographies, etc. Secondary sources are most important for doing your review of literature. They are the bibliographies, reference books, then we can say the articles from the magazines, articles from the journals, articles from the newspapers. Newspapers means after the events, if any main event is happened and later on we want to search for the newspapers, then you can go to the newspaper. It also comes in the secondary sources. Scholarly books and reviews. So all these things are necessary for your review of literature. Now there are scholarly journals. There are e-books now available. In the journal category, we can say that they are the scholarly journals as well as the professional journals. UGC sponsored journals are there. They are supposed to be more credible for your review of literature. Government reports are there. If somebody wants to do some database study, then you can download the documents or downloads the government documents if he or she wants to do research. Then we have the conference proceedings there. E-resources are also available in a large number nowadays. Blogs writing is also comes under the category of online articles. We can also take a survey of those blogs. Now what happens when we directly download the articles? We actually do the copy paste and we find it very useful for us. But at the same time, we forget to copy the URL link of those articles. And then we are unable to give its references in your paper, in your research proposal or thesis. And when you forget to give the references of those articles, then it comes under the category of plagiarism. So you should get the link copied so that you can give the references. As I told you, there are the newspapers and magazines. So these are the literatures, and we have to review it by reading, by understanding, and to write systematically. So we can say in a short, these sources which are available to us have to read, understand, and to write systematically is a review of literature. Then why review of literature? The question arises in the mind that why review of literature? Or why it is important? Why it is important in our research? The first thing is that many scholars have contributed a lot in their previous researches. Okay. What is their contribution in previous journals? Okay. It means that he covered in his research whatever the earlier material is available with us is to be covered here. Then what is the interrelationship of the earlier research? You have to study or think over it, that what is the interrelationship of the earlier research with your research? When we go through the research articles of the previous authors or the previous scholars, we have to see what is the interrelationship of the writing of that person and you. It means that if they are similar or they have raised new ideas or new issues to the different point of view. So when we go through it, when we go through the scholarly articles and scholarly journals, then we can come across so many things. We also try to find out that if there is interrelationship between the study, previous study and your study, what new issues have been raised and what are the different point of views have been depicted in the scholarly articles. Different point of view means what? Suppose two persons are facing to each other, and if you draw a figure 6, two persons are facing each other, and if you draw a figure 6, so the one person will say that it is 6, and the another person who is facing to that person will say that it is 9. So what we can say here, the concept is same, but the results are different. Here we say that the concept is same, but the results are different. So we can get different results from the different concepts. And then we are also searching there in their previous research. What is left of it? क्या बाकी है इसमें? क्या कम करता है? So we can study it from the different perspective, दृष्टिकोण. So the research articles contains theories and philosophies. We can say that 90 to 95% research is in support of it, but sometimes it brings different point of view. Then we have to study it from the different perspective. Even though the basic concept is the same, how we can express our thoughts if we want to study from the different point of view. So for that, you have to understand the research gap. To understand what is not covered yet when you are going through the scholarly article, then you have to find it out that what is not covered yet in the previous research, and this is the base for understanding hypotheses and objectives. So we can say step by step, we must be more careful about the originality of the research work. So research work should always be original. That is why we conduct review of literature. Now we can see the uniqueness in research. संशोधनातील वेगळेपणा. Uniqueness in research. How is that? Again, we do review of literature to know how our research is different than others. What research has been done so far and what to be done. So also we do review of literature. Now there are some types of review of literature. Let us see one by one. So broadly we can say that there are 6 types of review of literature. One is argumentative. So what is argumentative review of literature? It looks at the issues and how they are structured. मुद्दे आणि मांडणी ज्याला आपण म्हणतो. Is it supportive to that theory and what is different point of view? All those things are to be pointed out by yourself while going through the research articles. So it is supportive to that theory and what is the different point of view. Such types of argumentative review of literature, the articles are generally critically analyzed. Critical analysis happens in all cases, so except the methodological, can say. So critical analysis means whichever or whatever stated in research or in the findings and suggestions, do it support to it or not? If there are any loopholes left in it. So critical analysis should be on both the positive and negative side. So you have also to taken into consideration all those things, that a critical analysis should be on both the positive and negative side. Now the integrative review of literature. So what we see in it, we see here whether our concepts are getting clear or not. यामध्ये आपण या गोष्टीकडे लक्ष वेधल्या जाते या ठिकाणी इंटिग्रेटिव्ह रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर मध्ये, की आपल्या ज्या कन्सेप्ट्स आहेत त्या क्लिअर झाल्या की नाही. ओके, ऑन व्हॉट थेअरी आर दे बेस, कुठल्या थेअरीवर ते बेस आहेत, whether they are supporting to the theory or not. So we can say all those things here. Now integrated research हा सोशल सायन्स मध्ये पर्टिक्युलरली we can say majority times वापरला जातो. particularly it has also the critical reviews, but properly synthesized. याच्यामध्ये प्रॉपरली सिंथेसाइज केलेलं असते, म्हणजे यामध्ये आपल्या रिसर्च साठी काय युजफुल आहे हे आपण याबद्दल सांगू शकतो. सो सिंथेसिस करणे म्हणजे काय, की त्यातल्या हव्या असलेल्या गोष्टी त्याच्यावर फोकस करत असतो, हे आपण इथे दाखवून देऊ शकतो. हिस्टॉरिकल रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर. Suppose a theory, any theory, एखादी theory, आणि त्या थेअरीची किंवा त्या प्रोसेसची स्टडी करत असतो यामध्ये, and simultaneously we also study about the timeline. We also see the timeline while doing the historical review of literature. त्यानुसार झालेले चेंजेस किंवा डेव्हलपमेंट आपण स्टडी करत असतो हिस्टॉरिकल रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर मध्ये. फॉर एक्झाम्पल, रिक्रुटमेंट प्रोसेस. हाऊ द रिक्रुटमेंट प्रोसेस in the past. In the past means at the time of our grandfather. How was the recruitment process at the time of our father, at our time, and at present? So we see so many changes in the at the time of our grandparents. If somebody gets matriculated, he used to get a very easily job in any government or enterprises or anywhere. This changes, the situation changes or changed, we can say. Situation changed completely. Then you have to apply for that. You have been shortlisted, you have been called for an interview. So we see different changes in this field. Again, here, the timeline. So in the historical review of literature, we can say that it is the study from ancient to the present or from present to ancient. Methodological review of literature. Methodological review of literature मध्ये आपण काय पाहू शकतो की कोणत्या मेथड्स यूज केलेल्या आहेत. मेथड्स कोणत्या वापरल्या आहेत? Methods used for data collection, then statistical. Which tools are used? Or the tools which has been used there for description or used for hypothetical testing. Systematic review is also there. याच्यावर जास्तीत जास्त लोकांचा मेजॉरिटी फोकस असतो सिस्टमॅटिक रिव्ह्यूवर. तो empirical research, it is, we can say that it is the empirical research. Systematic review means the empirical research. So we analyze here, analysis करत असतो. Causes and effects, कारण मीमांसा, या गोष्टीला आपण स्टडी करत असतो इथे. And that is why we call it as the systematic review of literature. Then there is a theoretical review. Theoretical review म्हणजे किंवा यामध्ये आपण काय बघतो की थिसिस मध्ये ज्या थेअरी मेन्शन केल्या असतात, म्हणजे कन्सेप्ट, प्रोसेस किंवा थेअरी बेस्ड रिसर्च करत असतो, ह्या अशा प्रकारच्या ज्या गोष्टी आहेत, कोणत्या? कन्सेप्ट, प्रोसेस or theory based research comes under it. And here we generally study the modules, flow charts, etc. So while going through all those, what we can do the smart review. Smart review, then we have to take the smart review, what you have gone through it. So how to do the smart review means more reviews in less time. म्हणजे कमीत कमी वेळेस जास्त, कमीत कमी वेळात जास्तीत जास्त रिव्ह्यू कसे करायचे. So when we start to review, we browse internet, we visit the web pages, okay, websites. We also visit the open access journals, Shuddh Ganga, etc. Why we visit or why do we browse? Because we want to get information related to our research topic. बराबर है? And very beginning I told you that we start to get it downloaded because we want to see whether it is useful for our study or not. And then after going through, after downloading and reading so many pages, we come to know that अरे इसमें तो कुछ भी काम का नहीं दिख रहा, आपने 2-4 लाइन छोड़ के, nothing is important in this articles. So we are wasting our time. Okay, it is nothing but a wasting of time. So to avoid this, इतके सगळं वाचत बसण्यापेक्षा, इतके सगळे डाउनलोडेड केलेले आर्टिकल्स वाचत बसण्यापेक्षा, see the title of that research paper, because when we go through the title or when we see the title, we come to know that whether it is similar to our research or not, because title itself suggestive. Unnecessarily you are downloading so many research papers, you are collecting without taking the copy link, or you are not getting copied the link of the URL and all those things, and it is the wastage of time. So see the title, because title itself is suggestive. Suggestive means empirical or descriptive. Whether the title is empirical or descriptive, we generally come across when we see the title. Then abstract or executive summary, we can say middle part of that article. So in the abstract or in the executive summary, we see the main variables or major variables there. Main variables means your hypothesis, and hypothesis testing is mostly focused in the abstract or the executive summary. त्यामध्ये कोणते टूल्स वापरलेले आहेत, हे सुद्धा लक्षात येतं. कुठल्या ना कुठल्या लाईन मध्ये आपल्या लक्षात येतं की व्हॉट टाइप्स ऑफ टूल हॅज बीन यूज्ड बाय दिस रिसर्चर. अँड देन कम्स द एंड पार्ट. शेवटचा भाग असतो जो कॉन्क्लुजनचा असतो. यामध्ये की वर्ड्स दिलेले असतात. म्हणजे तुम्हाला असे काही सांगण्याचा अर्थ हा आहे की बिफोर गेटिंग डाउनलोडेड ऑल द रिसर्च आर्टिकल्स, journals, magazines from the magazines from the journal, you just see the title, you just see the abstract, you can highlight it also, and if you see any similarity between your research and that already done work, then you get it so that it will be useful for you. So at the end part we see the keywords. Keywords also provide us a lot of information. I followed it. Keywords जो रहते हैं, they can also हमें बता सकते हैं कि ये जो वर्ड है ये हमारे रिसर्च से रिलेटेड दिख रहे हैं. मीन्स टू सेव युअर टाइम. कमीत कमी वेळेमध्ये जास्तीत जास्त रिव्ह्यू जो करायचा तुम्हाला मी जे सांगितलेलं आहे ते याच्यासाठी उपयोगी पडतात तुम्हाला की कीवर्ड जनरली सजेस्ट कन्सेप्ट्स ऑफ दॅट टॉपिक. So why concept is important? कन्सेप्ट यासाठी आवश्यक आहे, महत्वाचं आहे की आपल्या रिसर्चशी त्याचा काय संबंध आहे हे माहित पडतं. ओके. दुसरं आहे डिसिप्लिन. वेगवेगळ्या डिसिप्लिन मध्ये वेगवेगळ्या अँगलने स्टडी केलेली असते. एव्हरीबडी नोज दॅट. हे सर्व मॅच झालं असेल तर हे सर्व मॅच झाल्यावर वेन एव्हरीथिंग मॅचेस, then it is not necessary to read line to line of the article. Have you followed it? So title and abstract जेव्हा आपण रीड करतो तेव्हा इंट्रोडक्शन ऑटोमॅटिकली आपल्या लक्षात आलेलं असते. लक्षात ठेवा. सो रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर थोडेसे ओव्हर रीड केले तरी चालते. मीन्स यू नीड नॉट टू read so seriously. Read. Because रिसर्चरने रेफर केलेले जे आर्टिकल्स आहेत त्यातला एखाद दुसरा किंवा काही आर्टिकल्स आपल्याला उपयोगी पडू शकतात हे पाहायचं असते. आणि सो यू नीड नॉट टू वेस्ट द टाइम. ओके, मग फोकस कुठे करायचा? वेअर शुड बी फोकस? It is not necessary to read the articles line to line. Not necessary. Focus. Let us focus. Focus on what? Objectives. Uddesh. Focus on the objectives. Hypothesis. मराठीमध्ये त्याला गृहीतके म्हणतात. Focus on hypothesis. काय ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह सेट केलेले आहेत त्या रिसर्च पेपर मध्ये? ओके, ते आपण लक्षात घ्यायला पाहिजे. हायपोथेसिस टेस्टिंग हे कुठल्या पद्धतीने केलेलं आहे? कुठले स्टॅटिस्टिकल टूल्स वापरले आहेत किंवा नाही? जर ते आपल्या रिसर्च मध्ये वापरले तर आपण आपल्या रिसर्च मध्ये वापरू शकतो का? ज्या ओरिजिनल रिसर्चने त्या ठिकाणी वापरलेल्या गोष्टी आपण वापरू शकतो का? जर हे टूल्स वापरायचे असेल तर माझे जे रिझल्ट आहेत माझ्या रिसर्चचे ते वेगळे राहू शकतील का? वगैरे गोष्टीचा विचार आपण त्याप्रमाणे करू शकतो. तसं ऍक्च्युली रायटिंग मध्ये त्याचा इनकॉर्पोरेट करायला काय हरकत नसते, लक्षात. त्यानंतर येतं सजेशन. आता सजेशन हे जे आहे फाइंडिंगच्या, when we are talking about the suggestion, then you will ask the question, what about the findings? Okay, फाइंडिंग हे हायपोथेसिस टेस्टिंगच्या टूल्स मधून जो डिस्क्रिप्टिव्ह पार्ट असतो तो असतो व्हेरिएबल्स. ऍक्च्युअली म्हणजे साधारणतः डेमोग्राफिक प्रोफाइल. इट इज नथिंग बट द डेमोग्राफिक प्रोफाइल. हायपोथेसिस मधून किंवा हायपोथेसिस टेस्टिंग मधून आपण निष्कर्ष काढत असतो, नो डाऊट. आणि ते चुकीचे आहे की बरोबर आहे यावरून काही निष्कर्ष निघत असतो. अशा प्रकारे आपण इथे ह्या गोष्टी सांगू शकतो. ना हाऊ टू डू रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर. तुमच्या रिसर्च साठी तुम्ही कशा प्रकारे रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर करायला पाहिजे. means how to do reading, or in other word we can say smart reading. When we read the hard copy or the soft copy, we take the notes or we highlight the article. Okay, highlight the points which are useful in your study. Then there is the part of the reference or bibliographical details. So where do we find the reference and the bibliographical details? ते कुठे असतं, ते कुठे असायला पाहिजे, ते कशासाठी लागते? समजा एखादा आर्टिकल आपण वाचतो ते बऱ्यापैकी आपल्या रेफरन्सला पण वापरलेलं असते, नो प्रॉब्लेम. जेव्हा आपण रेफरन्स कलेक्ट करतो तेव्हा मग पुन्हा ऍट द एंड जेव्हा बिब्लिओग्राफी तयार करतो तेव्हा स्वतःच्या शब्दामध्ये आपण रिव्ह्यू तयार करत असतो, लक्षात ठेवा. प्लॅगिअरिझम चा कुठलाही परिणाम किंवा चुकीचा परिणाम आपल्या रिसर्चवर होऊ नये म्हणून ती काळजी घेत असतो. दॅट इज वाय वी गिव्ह द रेफरन्सेस अँड बिब्लिओग्राफिकल डिटेल्स, राईट. समजा एखाद्याचं ओरिजिनल जे वर्क असतं ते आपण रेफरन्स मधून वापरत असतो, बट we forget to give that credit to that scholar. त्याचं क्रेडिट त्याला द्यायला पाहिजे, because he has also spent time, he worked hard on that work, he used his skills. That is why we should give the credit to him by giving the references of that particular author or writer or the research one. So what should be there in the references when you are going to give the references to your research article? Then what will you write? The first, so first is the author, okay, writer's name. Then comes the title of the article, the name of the journal, or maybe conference proceedings. Conference proceedings should also be mentioned or given in your bibliographical details, where we can also give the volume number and all that. Newspaper or magazines have the different sources. These are the different sources. Their references can also be given here. And from where to collect all those resources for the review of literature. You get it collected and name the resource. Name the resources from where you have been taken all the resources. Then the year of publication. But before that, you have to give the page number also. Page number and year of publication. Now, the thing comes how to do literature analysis or how to do the literature analysis. जे काही आर्टिकल्स आपण कलेक्ट केलेले असतात किंवा समोर घेतलेले असतात आपण वाचण्यासाठी, त्याच्या की टर्म्स बघायच्या. यू जस्ट सी द की टर्म्स. त्या कुठून कळतात आपल्याला? ते कळतं आपल्याला त्याच्या टायटल वरून. कोणती कन्सेप्ट स्टडी केलेली आहे? विच कन्सेप्ट इज स्टडीड हियर? Concept may be one or more, no doubt. That work is based on which theory? काही रिलेशन जर प्रूफ करायचं असेल, if you want to prove the relation between the original research work and your work, then all those things could be found over here. आपल्या डिसिप्लिन मध्ये जर ह्या दोन गोष्टी जर आपल्याला माहित झाल्या, तर आपलं रिसर्चशी हे आर्टिकल किती रिलेव्हंट आहे, किती संबंधित आहे हे सुद्धा आपल्याला माहित होऊन जाते. Now there are the types of literature analysis. So accordingly, it depends upon doing the review of literature. How is that? Let us see it. If we are doing concept-based things, or if we are doing imperial research, and if we are doing the systematic review, then we are talking about, or we can just talking, or we have to take all those things into consideration. When we are doing concept-based things, or if we are doing empirical research, and if we are doing the systematic review, then we are taking certain things in our account. So everything in it, which is based on the concept, empirical research असेल, सिस्टमॅटिक रिव्ह्यू जर आपण करत असू तर त्यातील सगळ्याच गोष्टी आपण या लक्षात घेत असतो. म्हणजे कोणत्या कन्सेप्ट स्टडी केल्या आहेत, इम्पेरिकल रिसर्च असेल तर काय रिलेशनशिप और काय रिलेशन्स आपण या ठिकाणी प्रूव्ह केलेला आहे, किंवा एका कन्सेप्टचा दुसऱ्या कन्सेप्टवर काय इम्पॅक्ट होतो आहे, हे जर स्टडी करायचं असेल तर तशा प्रकारची स्टडी आहे काय, किंवा जर मेथडॉलॉजिकल रिव्ह्यू करत असू तर आर्टिकल मध्ये वापरलेले टूल्स हे मॅच होत आहे काय किंवा वेगळे होत आहेत काय, हे रिसर्च आर्टिकलचे वाचन करतानाच आपल्याला विचारात घ्यायला लागतं. सो इट इज इम्पॉर्टंट to keep in mind that there is a connection between your research project and the research article if you want to make a connection. So the third and most important is whether there are any trends in it. Trends. In the articles, particularly regarding trends in the current environment, we could see the current trends in the present environment or the present situation. For example, pandemic, we are all going through it. 2 years back, there was no corona, no COVID. But now the situation has compelled us. We see a lot of problems of the people. So the literature which will produce in this period will be having the new trends, pre-pandemic, post-pandemic. So these will be the trends. And these trends come after the situation. So we can say रिसर्च आर्टिकल मध्ये काही नवीन ट्रेंड्स आहेत का हे सुद्धा आपल्याला शोधावं लागेल. आताची परिस्थिती काय आहे, आधीच्या लिटरेचर मध्ये 2 वर्षापूर्वीच्या आधीच्या किंवा आधीच्या लिटरेचर मध्ये सुद्धा पॅन्डेमिकच्या बद्दल आपल्याला उल्लेख कुठे सापडणार नाही. वी विल नॉट कम अक्रॉस टू दिस सिच्युएशन इन द रायटिंग्स ऑफ द स्कॉलर्स. सो हा सुद्धा रिसर्चचाच पॉइंट होऊ शकेल, नो डाऊट. सर्व परिस्थिती नॉर्मल झाल्यावर प्री पॅन्डेमिक आणि पोस्ट पॅन्डेमिक स्टडी असा सुद्धा ट्रेंड येऊ शकतो. ओके, किंवा बिफोर स्टडी, आफ्टर स्टडी, असे ट्रेंड्स आपण या ठिकाणी बघू शकतो. आणि याच्या आधीचे असे सुद्धा ट्रेंड्स आपण बघितलेले आहेत, याच्या आधी सुद्धा बघितलेले आहेत. वी हॅव ऑल्सो सीन सच टाइप ऑफ ट्रेंड्स बिफोर, जैसे प्री इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन, पोस्ट इंडस्ट्रियलाइजेशन, प्री ग्लोबलाइजेशन, पोस्ट ग्लोबलाइजेशन. Same with the GST, same with the demonetization. So this could be a pattern for time being. Okay. Now the reading, how we read it. While reading of the articles, research articles, take notes while reading. A research article and should be in your own word. Read it thoroughly, take the note and try to write in your own words. For what? After through reading, check out what you have understood and what is the similarity between your research and article. then you can write very well and neatly. So a good and systematic review can be taken. While reading, focus on research gap for what has not covered in an article. Okay. So while writing, now reading is over, writing. When you start to write your paper, your research paper, the first thing or your research topic starts with introduction. Okay. And second part is essay, जिसको कहते हैं essay कहते हैं उसको. So introduction लिहिताना 3 गोष्टी लक्षात ठेवल्या पाहिजेत. The time of publication, topic and concept. ह्या 3 गोष्टी आपल्याला लक्षात ठेवाव्या लागतील. Time of publication, the topic and concept. What is your concept? What is the topic and what is the time of publication? Then comes the essay writing, जिसको कहते हैं. Essay writing means essay writing तो नहीं कह सकते directly उसको, but it may be a body paragraph of the research topic and then conclusion. So now let us see in a nutshell. I would like to conclude it. Review of literature structure कसे असावे. इंट्रोडक्शन पार्ट मध्ये रिसर्च टॉपिकची इम्पॉर्टन्स काय आहे, मीन्स व्हॉट इज द स्कोप फॉर दॅट. मेनी मोर स्कोप मे बी देअर. जॉग्राफिकल राहू शकतं, कन्सेप्च्युअल राहू शकतं, मेथॉलॉजिकल सुद्धा राहू शकते. ह्या तिन्ही स्कोप तुम्हाला मेन्शन करायचे आहेत त्यामध्ये. देन बॉडी पॅराग्राफ. बॉडी पॅराग्राफ मध्ये काय असतं, बेसिक आयडिया किंवा ज्याला आपण जे काही ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह सेट केलेलं असते या ठिकाणी, त्याला रिसर्चरची जो रिसर्चर आहे त्याची काय गरज आहे त्याला सांगावं लागेल. व्हाय इट इज नेसेसरी, व्हॉट आर द ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह, त्यासाठी त्याने कोणते व्हेरिएबल्स वापरलेले आहेत आणि कोणते हायपोथेटिकल व्हेरिएबल्स वापरलेले आहेत. सो हिअर मेथॉडॉलॉजिकल रिव्ह्यू करू शकतो म्हणजे स्टॅटिस्टिकल टूल्स त्याने कोणते वापरले आहे हे सुद्धा आपल्याला पाहावं लागेल. आता हे जे आर्टिकल आहे ते मेन स्ट्रीम मध्ये आहे की अल्टरनेट पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू मधले आहेत, इट इज ऑल्सो टू बी सीन. These things are to be taken into consideration while writing a research article. Conclusion जो पार्ट असतो याच्यामध्ये सर्व लिहून झाल्याच्या नंतर ज्याला आपण कॉन्क्लुजन असं म्हणतो, इट इज जस्ट लाइक अ प्रेसी राइटिंग. प्रेसी राइटिंग मीन्स 1/3 पैराग्राफ, जिसको हम स्कूल कॉलेज में पढ़ चुके हैं, पढ़ाते भी है. म्हणजे आपली इथे आपण तुम्ही आपण या ठिकाणी आपण आपली मतं मांडू शकतो. इथे आता मतं मांडू शकतो म्हणजे काय, आपण अग्री आहोत, डिसअग्री आहोत. नॉट युअर पर्सनल व्ह्यूज आर टू बी मेन्शन्ड हिअर. पर्सनल व्ह्यूज नाही, मला हे मान्य नाही, यू कॅन नॉट से लाईक दॅट. सो ॲज अ रिसर्चर्स आपण आपला रिसर्च इन लिटरेचर जेव्हा आपण कम्पेअर करतो तेव्हा आपण काय विचार करतो हे सांगायचं असते. त्यानंतर यामध्ये रिसर्च गॅप काय आहे हेही मांडू शकतो. ओव्हरऑल परसेप्शन, रिसर्च मध्ये आपल्याला काय कळलेलं आहे हे सांगायचं असतं आपल्याला इथे. ओके. Next one is that how much and how many review of literatures should be done. किती रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर तुम्ही वाचायला पाहिजे. There is no hard and fast rule. But in spite of that, I can say that last 5 to 10 years published research articles, magazines, reviews can be referred. ज्या फील्ड मध्ये रोज काही ना काही रोज इश्यूज आहेत, प्रॉब्लेम्स आहेत, एव्हरीथिंग इन डे टू डे लाईफ, एव्हरीथिंग हॅपनिंग एव्हरीवेअर इन द वर्ल्ड. ओके, त्याचे फॅक्टर्स बदलत असतात, सामाजिक इश्यूज बदलत असतात. म्हणून आपण जर समजा 25 वर्षापूर्वीचा एखादा रिव्ह्यू करायचा तुम्ही विचार केला, एखादा रिसर्च पेपर किंवा जर्नल किंवा तुम्ही ज्याला रिव्ह्यू करता, त्या बाकीच्या गोष्टी तुम्हाला त्याच्यात मिळणार नाही. म्हणजे रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर साठी तुम्ही तुमच्या रायटिंगसाठी रिव्ह्यू करायचं असेल तर फार जुने मॅगझिन्स और जर्नल्स करायची गरज नाही. रिसेंट 5-10 वर्षातले करा. ओके, सो हे काही थोडेसे टिप्स तुम्हाला मी सांगितले. शेवटी आपण एक चेकलिस्ट सुद्धा करू शकतो की रिसर्चचा उद्देश, पर्पज आणि स्कोप तुमचा सफल झालाय का. Then it is appropriate and credible or not, whether it is being reviewed in the reviewed journals or not. वाचताना नक्की काय वाचायचं आहे, रिसर्च गॅप आयडेंटिफाय केले आहेत का, मेथडॉलॉजी आणि थिअरी यामध्ये स्टॅटिस्टिकल टूल्स ऑफ रिसर्च प्रोसेस युज्ड प्रॉपरली केली आहे की नाही आहे. डिफरन्सेस ऑफ पॉइंट ऑफ व्ह्यू म्हणजे आर्टिकलचा आणि आपला रिसर्च प्रोजेक्ट यामध्ये काय सिमिलॅरिटी आहे आणि काय डिफरन्सेस आहेत ते आपण बघितलं आहे का. रायटिंग जी टाईप आहे, इंट्रोडक्शन, बॉडी पॅराग्राफ, कॉन्क्लुजन, हे तिन्ही मुद्दे आपल्या रायटिंग मध्ये आलेले आहेत का. सगळे लिहून झाल्यावर आपण पाहायचं असते. आणि शेवटी आपण असं म्हणू शकतो की पंक्च्युएशन, स्पेलिंग, ग्रामर चेकअप करून घेतलेला आहे का. ह्या सगळ्या गोष्टी जर आपण इथे पाहिल्या तर मला असं वाटतं की यू कॅन राईट अ बेटर रिसर्च आर्टिकल. बट फॉर दॅट यू हॅव टू टेक द रिव्ह्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर. सो माय डिअर फ्रेंड्स अँड कलिग्स, आय एम व्हेरी थँकफुल टू यू फॉर गिव्हिंग मी द पेशन्स लिसनिंग, बिकॉज इट इज द ऑनलाईन classes. The patience listening is we can understand it. So thank you very much, madam. I am finishing here my presentation. Thank you. If you have any problem, you can drop it in the chat box, so we can give their answers later on. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Good morning to everyone. Good morning to everyone. Am I audible? Good morning to everyone. It is my great pleasure to have the opportunity to propose a vote of thanks on third day session of research methodology workshop. First of all, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to Dr. Sujit Maitre sir, the principal of SBCT College, Nagpur, who give the opportunity to organize this research methodology workshop and providing constant support and guidance. I would like to thank to Dr. Tundulwar sir, the Vice Principal of SBCT College, Dr. Kane ma'am, IQC Coordinator, Dr. Raktate sir, IQC Coordinator, the co-coordinator of workshop, Dr. Rajendra Naikwade sir. I especially give thanks to Dr. Anil Shende sir, who spared precious time from his busy schedule to deliver a speech on the topic review of literature. I hope many research scholars and participants will be able to seek a precious guidance from your valuable lecture, sir. Last but not least, I would like to express my hearty thanks to all participants and my colleagues who are joined here. Thank you once again. This session is over here. Shortly, the next session will start within a few minutes. Thank you very much.
देशपांडे सर
Madam,
देशपांडे